Long ago, an unlikely hero, one who had never before set to adventure, rose up, slew lords and gods, and linked the flame. But did he have any idea what he was doing or why he was doing it? My dad has beaten Dark Souls as his first game ever played, but I wanted to see how much of the lore has he actually picked up through that adventure. So we partnered with the Brothers Code, the best lore channel on YouTube. Check them out in the description to see if he could come up with his best explanation of the lore of each of the bosses he had defeated. He would then receive a score of 1 to 10 on accuracy. He had 3 lifelines to help him. 1, Ask Chat, where I would pick a random chat message that would be helpful or not. Number 2, I would read the first line of the boss's official lore. Number 3, Babe 1 Assistance, where I would help him to the best of my knowledge to answer as much as he could. I think everyone learned a lot from this, and it somehow went much better and much worse than I thought it could go. Enjoy. Hey everybody, how's it going?
Well, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Hello, chat. We're doing it earlier in the day and everyone's wondering why.
I got up with the nosebleed because I had to get up
so early. Well, today it's because we are joined with a special guest, the Brothers Code. Ahmed, do you mind saying hello?
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me, guys. This is exciting. I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be fun.
Heck yeah. The man from UK. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed, Dad, that you're willing and okay with him coming on, because I know he's from the UK. You fought in the Revolutionary War, so I'm very touched that you're able to see past that.
Yes, me and the Brits did not get along for a while.
I thought you were going to come in with your musket and everything.
Yes.
But no.
I think it's time now to bury the hatchet.
Yeah. And not in your head.
Yeah. Jeez.
That would be good, yes.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up 18 bosses as we go.
Oh.
You killed 18 bosses.
I did?
You did. And then out of the 18, if you can average after all of it 50% or above, you win a prize, which I will determine later because I just realized I did not think of a prize. I only thought of a punishment.
Means there is no prize.
Yes, there is. If you get under 50%, it's the age-old, punishment of
then
that.
I owe you?
No, into the nursing home you go. Remember?
Oh.
All right, dude. You feeling good?
I'm feeling as good as I'm gonna.
All right, GigaDad. We did briefly talk about this one. Tell me, who is Lord Gwyn in this world? What is his lore? What does he want?
Yeah, he's the final boss, and he wanted to defeat me and stay the boss, and I had to beat him to take his place.
You got onto something there.
I
Yep. So what was his goal in the world? What was his role in the story?
I don't really know. He controlled everything. The light, the flame. When I finally beat him, I went and lit the flame, which was optional. I didn't have to, but I did. I lit it so that it could continue to illuminate the rest of the world, is what I understood.
Okay. Anything else you want to throw in for extra points of what your best guess? And it's okay if it's completely off because there's no taking away points. But what would you guess from the world of what his role was?
To romance all of the female goddesses there.
No, that's my role.
That.
All right, Ahmed, what's our 1 out of 10 score?
Okay, this is it's going to be difficult to score, but I do like you've connected Gwyn to the Age of Light, which is great. You know, that's the thing. Gwyn, the Age of Light, they go hand in hand together. He wants to prolong the first flame. He wants the Age of Light to continue. So you got all of that right. So I think that alone, puts him at least around the 7 to 8 mark, just on knowing the foundation of Gwyn and, his motivations and purpose. Do you want a bit of the backstory of Gwyn? Where do you want me to go with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Age of Light. That's a new term to me. That's what he protected, or he did.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh.
So before the Age of Light, it was the Age of Ancients, and basically the world was ruled by everlasting dragons, immortal dragons.
Oh, so he took over from the everlasting dragons and made it the Age of Light, and I beat the guy, and so now it's the Age of Light with me as the big bad dude.
True, you rekindled the flame by offering yourself.
The flame because he's now dead.
That's correct. You murdered him.
That's correct.
Yeah. Poor guy. He's a nice guy, I guess. I don't know. Killed the heck out of him.
Yeah. But yeah, after the Age of Ancients, so basically what brought around the Age of Light is the first flame emerged deep underground, and it's basically like a natural phenomenon. And the first flame was found by Gwyn, who, you know, became a protector of the Age of Light, alongside 3 other beings. And so each of those 4 beings, including Gwyn, received a Lord Soul from within the first flame, and that gave them power. And so they used that power to rebel against the Everlasting Dragons and defeat the dragons. And through defeating the Everlasting Dragons, they brought about their own age, which was the Age of Light. And so, of course, Gwyn wants to protect the Age of Light because that is his age, where he's at his most powerful and he's the ruler. So it benefits him to maintain the Age of Light.
Okay,
so he wants to prolong it.
This is really interesting, because I know I had to go through 4 other bosses to get to Gwyn, and those are the 4 guys that helped put him in power.
Before we go too far, that's the Gwyn lore. I wanted to start with the overarch so that you're like, all right, where's that?
That's interesting.
That's his story. So what's the final score on his Gwyn, Lord of Cinder?
I'm impressed, honestly. And you even added to it there when you started connecting the lords and everything like that. So I think a solid 7, which is very impressive.
7 out of 10. That's a good start.
Solid 7 should be an 8. No.
He's already grifted for more. All right, next one, Dad.
Oh, okay.
Seath the Scaleless. Okay.
What? Seath the Scaleless.
Yes. It was a big dragon whose tail you kept attacking, and he had a crystal behind him that you had to break. So based off of what you're looking at, what you heard, what you know, Seath the Scaleless, who is he? What's his lore? What's his position in the world?
I don't specifically remember him.
You can even make it up, just based on like, all right, he's a dragon.
What the lore is, let me think. This one blanks me.
That's okay. Well, you know from Gwyn that there was an Age of Dragons.
No, the Age of Dragons, Gwyn beat them, and so there's a whole new generation of dragons that comes in after the Age of Dragons, right?
Tell your story, man. What do you think?
He's one of the lesser dragons that I had to go through to get to the 4. From what you're telling me, he wasn't particularly difficult to defeat, which is amazing because I was really weak at that point.
Anything else you want to throw out as a guess?
No, as a guess, I haven't a clue.
Alrighty. How are we doing? What's our scoring?
Well, here's the thing. You mentioned him being a lesser dragon, and in a way, you're not wrong. And I think you get points for that. But besides that, there wasn't much there. You didn't give me much. I can't really help you much with that one.
Yep.
So we'll say you'll get 2 points for that one. We'll stick on 2 out of 10.
Hey, that's twice one. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, you can always just throw out whatever random story you want to make up. And if it's semi-close, you get points.
Well, that means I have to be able to come up with it.
Just guess.
Here's the thing. Since I'm scoring, I will say you'll get points for creativity as well.
If you come up with an interesting
I'll try to be more creative as we go.
Yeah, so Seath is a dragon, and he was there during the war against the dragons. However, if you might have noticed, his name is Seath the Scaleless, and that's what differentiates him from the other dragons. The other dragons were immortal due to their scales. They had stone scales that gave them immortality. They were impenetrable. So Seath, he was scaleless, and so therefore he felt like he was a lesser dragon. And so what he did was he betrayed the dragons and sided with Gwyn and the other lords to overthrow the dragons. And in return, he was granted dukedom. He's known as the Grand Master of Sorcery, so he was given access to the Grand Archives, which is where you find him, a huge library where he could study his sorceries. And so he's a traitor of his own kind, and he became aligned with Gwyn and the lords, and he lived out what remained of his life until you killed him in the Grand Library. But he did find a way to remain immortal, and it is through that crystal that you'd have to destroy to kill him. If you hadn't destroyed the crystal, you can't kill Seath. So in a way, he found his own immortality.
Okay, you're giving me some ideas about creativity on some of these other guys that I don't know anything.
Yeah, by the end, I was hoping that you'd have like at least a general idea of like what the themes are.
Yeah.
So that it'll put together. But I think it is cool that you remember we went through like this big archive. There was a bunch of like books and like staircases that would rotate, and then there was that area that you kept sliding off because it was like a crystal cavern. And remember the invisible walkways? Yeah, that's
the invisible walkways. Yes, I remember those.
Yep, he's the duke of that whole archive.
Is the invisible walkway dude.
Invisible walkway dude.
Okay.
Yep, and all the other dragons were immortal because they had scales. He taught, I believe in the lore, he teaches Gwyn that he can, or teaches him how to remove the scales off the other dragons to bring them
Yes.
down.
Oh,
So it's through lightning.
Yep.
You destroy their scales, which is what Gwyn used against them. So in a way, yeah, he directly helped Gwyn and the Lords defeat the dragons.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
So he betrayed his own kind for a little while.
Yep. Asylum Demon. Big old booty cheeks.
Oh, I remember seeing this guy.
This is the first boss you fight. You coached Mega Mom on this fight, and she yelled at you a lot. It was a lot of fun. Tell me in the lore, and you probably can beat me on this one because I don't know a tremendous amount, TBH, about this. What's the Asylum Demon's lore, the role of this demon in the world? And you can remember his name. The name also can tell you some. Asylum Demon. You start in a cage at the beginning of the game in a big asylum, and you have to
it's
escape.
Asylum, and I have to escape out of the asylum. He is known to Gwyn, and his point is to keep people in the asylum, captive in the asylum.
Okay, so his affiliation is with Gwyn, and his goal is to keep people stuck in the asylum. Anything else you want to add about the Asylum Demon?
He's ugly.
That's true. All right, Ahmed, what's our score?
I like where you went with this. He's definitely ugly, so you get a point on that one. And yeah, he stops you from getting out of the asylum, so that's definitely correct. He is an asylum demon. He's basically like the prison officer of the asylum, just making sure nobody escapes. Definitely better than Seath the Scaleless in terms of how you've done. I'd say you've got around at least a 4 out of 10 on this
Ooh,
one.
hey. Wow.
4, okay. Any other added lore points that you want to throw in there, Ahmed?
Yeah, so on a personal, way, there's not much to go off of in terms of the Asylum Demon, but all the demons are very much involved in the overarching story, which is, as I mentioned, you've got Gwyn who found a Lord Soul alongside 3 others. Another person, or another being who found a Lord Soul was the Witch of Isolith. And so what happened over time through the Age of Fire is the fire started to dwindle, and that worried Gwyn because he wanted to maintain his power, he wanted to maintain the First Flame. And one of his methods of attempting to maintain the First Flame and the Age of Fire is to have the Witch of Isolith replicate the First Flame and recreate it herself. And so she attempted that, but it went horribly wrong. Instead, you got the Flame of Chaos, which is a fire that pretty much took over her kingdom, destroyed everything, and birthed demons. And so many of the demons you see throughout the games are a result of that experiment of her attempting to recreate the First Flame. And so yeah, it just shows the length that people go to try and maintain their power and the consequences of that.
There you go. He told you a little bit about the Witch of Isolith.
Yeah.
Do you remember that big giant red lava area?
Yeah.
A little bit, like it's super.
There were a couple of lava areas.
Yeah, the biggest one where it's like just a lake of lava that you're running through.
Yes.
Yep, that used to be a fairly nice place, but that is where that's called Las Isolith, because that's where the Witch of Isolith conducted her experiment.
Okay.
And that's what destroyed that whole area, morphed things into like demons, and demons started spawning out of there. So that's his connection.
I remember running across that going, ow, ow, ow,
Ow, ow, ow, ow, ow. Yeah.
ow, ow.
Exactly. It stings. Okay, this next one I think you remember very well. Little boss lore on the old Bell Gargoyles, Dad.
Oh, gargoyle.
You remember these guys?
Were there 2 of them?
There's 2 of them. Gargoyles with an S.
Oh, they were right before that first bell. If you fight the first one and get him halfway killed, the second one comes at you, which is totally unfair. And then you have to deal with 2 of them. As far as the lore, I think is they were protecting the bell and keeping me from getting to the bell to ring it. That is the big part of the lore, I believe.
Who would you guess that they're associated with in terms of like other figures in the lore?
Well, everything's associated with Gwyn. I don't recall any specific association with another other than Gwyn. That's it. Yep.
All right.
I've blown my wad.
Okay, what's the score?
I'm gonna say it. That was a 10 out of 10 right there.
Nice.
Absolutely nailed it.
Ooh,
Nice.
Hey, wow.
A layup
Give me
for
5.
a classic GigaDad W.
I get a 10.
Get a big one on the board.
That was perfect. You sounded like a lore veteran right there, a Dark Souls veteran.
Nice.
So yeah, the Bell Gargoyles, they're created by the gods through magic to guard the Bells of Awakening and stop you from progressing. And not just to stop you, but also almost like a test to see if you're worthy of progressing through the pilgrimage and that you've gained enough strength to be able to defeat them. So yeah, throughout the game, there are 3 different areas where they test your strength to see if you're worthy of progressing to the next part. And so it's not just to defeat you, but to make sure that you're actually strong enough and you have enough souls to progress and link the first flame. So yeah, that was your first test right there, and killing them, you defeated them and you progressed. So
well done, dude.
Cool. Hey, I'll take it.
Because you are, in the story, you are the chosen undead. I'll give you that hint.
Yeah.
There's a prophecy that there's going to be a chosen undead.
Oh, that's right. There's a prophecy.
Yes.
That's right.
That
And
will
I'm
make
fulfilling
pilgrimage.
that prophecy. Okay, I remember that now.
Yep. There's a lot of others that have tried. You run into those who tried. Like when you find the Onion Knight, the big guy in the big armor, and he's like, he's also on his way to Anor Londo to fulfill it. Solaire also trying to fulfill it.
I killed Solaire.
You did. Yeah. So
Whoops.
you stopped him from fulfilling it pretty good. All right, big dog. Next one, Capra Demon. Do you remember him?
I remember he had those horns. That looks familiar. Looks like a Taurus.
Interesting that you would say that, but yes, this one is the Capra Demon.
Yeah. He is defending an area that I needed to get to. I don't remember specifics of it, but you can see the stairs behind him. I needed to go up those, but he has this goat's head.
You know he's a Capra Demon. So we've learned a little bit about
Capra is.
Well, the second word, demon.
Demon.
We know there's something associated with demons
from the underworld, but he wants to prevent me from moving forward, and that's everything is trying to keep me from getting up to Gwyn, so he obviously has a major role in that.
All right, anything else you want to guess, throw out there for Capra Demon?
He has a nice set of abs that
That's
I
true.
had to deal with, and
To deal with. What's the score on Capra Demon?
that wasn't bad. I don't remember, what did I give him for the Asylum Demon? Was it
Asylum
4?
Demon? I think you gave him 4, yep.
I would have said that you would have had a similar, but I don't know. Did you make the connection between the Asylum Demon and the Capra Demon?
I don't think you
you
did.
did.
no.
So maybe a 3 on this one.
Oh, there's a
Because
connection. Tell me about the connection.
Well, the Capra Demon is similar to the Asylum Demon. He's the result of the Witch of Izalith attempting to recreate the first flame. And so when that flame of chaos emerged and the demons came out of that, the Capra Demon is a result of that as well. So like I was saying, much of the demons you see throughout the game are all born of that flame of chaos created by the Witch of Izalith. So it's consequences.
Oh, so that's part of the lore that I did not really understand, this flame of chaos. I think I heard of it, but it didn't connect as to what it was. Okay.
Yeah, you can imagine it as like the fake first flame, or an attempt of creating a first flame, which went horribly wrong, and it created a flame of chaos, which birthed demons.
Nice.
All right.
We're learning. What else do we have? Great Grey Wolf Sif.
Yeah, this wolf swings a sword. That is, what the heck?
What the heck?
How does a wolf swing a sword? Well, he did it pretty well, and you can see that he's in a graveyard, so he's protecting this graveyard and trying to prevent me from advancing through, and he has this huge sword that he really swings and annihilated me many times.
Yep.
He is not associated with the Capra Demon and whatever that lore was. I can't remember.
True, he's not associated with the demons
with the demons,
right?
But I don't remember who he answers to.
I'll give you some tips on what it was in the gameplay world. So you went to a place where you had to find a certain ring so that you could fall down a deep, deep hole into what's called the abyss. And in order to survive that fall into the abyss, you had to get a specific ring, which was named after a knight. And so you went to this graveyard to find that ring, and then you were confronted by this wolf guarding that ring. So I'll let you do with that as you think.
Oh, okay.
His lore be associated.
I needed to get that ring to fall down into the abyss, which I eventually did, and fell into the abyss and survived the fall. Yes, I remember that. But this wolf was protecting that ring, and he was, I don't know where his origin was, who created him, or I don't recall a whole lot more other than he was very effective at his job.
You want to use a lifeline?
Yes.
Which one?
You.
The babe one?
Yeah, babe one.
All right. This one I actually know pretty good. So his association is with the knight whom the ring is named after, who you will meet later in the DLC, but his name is Artorias, and
I don't remember that at all.
yeah, he's later in the other part of the game we haven't done, but he is defending that ring because he's defending people going into the abyss, because the knight that was his master perished essentially in the abyss. And so Seath is guarding that ring that his knight master used to get to the abyss in order to prevent the expansion of that abyss. So yeah, a lot of that is like touched on in the base game. It's an expansion on it when you get into what's called the DLC, but that is Seath's association. You can actually run into him in his basically younger form in the abyss in the DLC, which is kind of cool. And you actually meet the knight whomst he is protecting the ring of. Anything else? What's our score on that one?
Do I get credit for all that?
You do. I'm your lifeline.
So yeah, I mean, I get to score this with you also adding to it, right? Since you're the lifeline.
That's rough. That's not good for me.
So no, that's great. Honestly, yeah, you got all of that right. I would say on this one, let's say around a 9 out of 10 there, because there could be little bits and bobs that you could have added in to, enrich the lore a little bit, but perfect in terms of getting the story across. So that one's really good. And it was a bit unfair to have him do this one without playing a DLC. So
yeah, that's true.
It's one of those ones. But Knight Artorias, who was the, companion of Seath, he was one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, which is like an elite squad.
He was one of the four main knights that protected Gwyn. He was one of those?
He was indeed, yeah.
Okay.
And he was dispatched to the abyss to halt its spreading, because the abyss is basically like a realm of darkness and corruption, and it was spreading through the world. And of course, that would have also risked the Age of Fire and the Age of Light that Gwyn wanted so badly. So he sent his best knight to hopefully dispatch of it, but that didn't happen. Instead, he got corrupted within the abyss. And Seath remains at his graveyard, stopping others from meeting the same fate. But yeah, fun fact: if you do the DLC, there's an opportunity where you could save Seath, and if you do so, and you get to this point where you fight him, you'll get an alternate cutscene where for a moment he will get close to your character and recognize you, and recognize that you were the person that saved him when he was much younger. He will still reluctantly have to fight you, as that is his duty at that point, but it's a nice little touch there as well.
Pretty cool.
Ornstein and Smough.
Yep. These ones
Those ones I remember. What the lore is, I don't remember. They're partners, and that was totally unfair. You go over there and you beat one of them, and then the other one gains the strength of the one you just killed, which is like totally unfair. And then you have to beat the other one that has now been enhanced. I said, holy simoles, what's going on? But what's the lore behind them is...
Consider where you fight them.
Yeah, it's kind of in this big room, and you're trying to get past them, but the actual lore... Well,
I'll tell you, you fight them in Anor Londo, which is the main capital of the world.
I recognize that name, but I didn't know it was the main capital of the world. Okay, well... So
you're making pilgrimage you start from the outside in the asylum, you make it to the lands, and then you ring the bell gargoyle, you ring the 2 bells, and then you get taken to the central city, Anor Londo. And that is where you're right about to get the Lord Vessel, which is the thing that you put the 4 Lord Souls in order to open the door to get to Gwyn. Before you even can get through that door, they're there.
I don't remember the details. I'm pulling a blank. So what's the chat say?
Wait, that's your guess? Your lifeline? Ask chat? All right, chat. You guys have 30 seconds. Let's see what they come up with. Close your eyes. You're not allowed to see. I give you one message from chat. One message.
Sheesh.
All right. This is the random one. It's from Red. It says the word true. Don't look. He's cheating. You get one.
True?
Yeah. That's the one I randomly picked is the word true.
This guy
Way to go, Red.
Was being loyal to Gwyn. In that sense, he was true to his cause. So that's why the word true is appropriate here. So it was defending the access path to Gwyn, and it was very, very true. He was great and fought really hard, but I whooped him anyway.
Great. All right, let's run that one. What was our lore score?
He recovered a little bit by the end there. He kind of brought it together there.
Okay.
So that's good. They are definitely there in protection of Anor Londo. They are servants under Gwyn. So all that was correct. I would say around a 6 on that one. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I'd say so.
More than 5. I'll take
He's going to take anything.
Above a 5 is great, especially for a first-time Souls player. That's a very positive score. But yeah, Ornstein and Smough, they are similar to what the Gargoyles were early in the game. They are that test as well to make sure that the Chosen Undead is strong enough to progress past them and past Anor Londo. And interestingly, Ornstein is one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn as well. He's the skinny one. So we mentioned the
True, he looks kind of like Gwyn, doesn't he?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And then you've got him as the second knight of the 4. While Smough, the big one, he wanted to be a knight really badly, but he was never really granted that because they didn't see him fit enough to be a knight. He was just very much a savage. He was an executioner, and so they kind of kept him playing that role. They didn't see him fit enough to be one of the Knights of Gwyn.
Interesting. When I fought these two, I always beat Ornstein first, and then I beat Smough because it just seemed easier that way. True. I don't know. He was smaller, so I picked on him.
It was interesting you mentioned that, actually. Depending on who you kill first, you kind of get a perspective of what kind of people they are. So if you kill Smough first, the big one, Ornstein will respectfully kind of take his power by laying his hand on him in a very knightly way. Whilst Ornstein, because he's such a savage, he will just hammer his dead friend to absorb his power. And you kind of see why he was never really looked at as a knight, but more of a savage.
And he laughs at you. Have you ever heard like there's like kind of a laughy sound during the fight? You're probably not paying attention.
No, we're not paying attention.
Freaking
I'm just
out.
so grateful that I beat him.
Yeah. Smough will laugh at you. Also, his armor's a little interesting in that you'd think this is where his eyes are. They're actually here, right?
Oh.
They're like below on his neck, right? From what I remember, people telling me, because it's a normal man in there, but he's just very, very large. And then from what I've heard, this is his actual.
That's
where his eyes are in the armor.
Vision happens. Huh?
Yep.
At least I recognized the names.
That's true. All right. Next up, Pinwheel.
Pinwheel.
This was one of the very few, if not the only one, that you beat first try. Really easy. But he's got 3 faces on him. He's in this catacombs where all these skeletons and dead things are.
Oh, yeah. It has 3 phases, and I had to kill all 3 of them.
He had copies of himself, yeah.
Right.
The hardest boss, everyone says.
I killed him my first attempt.
Yep.
He was protecting the realm of the dead, and I had to get past them through this guy with all of those little lanterns. All of those were used to light up that part of his world, and I had to defeat him in order to light those lanterns or something like that.
Any guesses as to the 3 faces? What you would guess the story behind that would be? Being creative gets points, even if it's not quite spot on.
The faces look like he's an actor of some sort, and he has these different faces to indicate what his attitude, what his intentions are. You see the one on the bottom has big eyes, so he's kind of a more surprised or fearful. The second one is looking more angry, and so he's kind of more fierce. And then the woman behind is supposedly kind, but it's very treacherous. You have to be tricky with her because she's tricky with you.
Cool. What do we score?
No, that wasn't bad, actually. I quite like the fact they mentioned that it wasn't very memorable, which is very accurate. I don't think many people remember Pinwheel. He was an easy boss, very forgettable in terms of the grand scope of things. So on this one, I'd say it's a nice even.
All 5.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. But yeah, there isn't too much to Pinwheel, really. He's a necromancer, and he resides in the catacombs, reigning over the catacombs. He stole the power of the Gravelord Nito, and he basically wants to pursue immortality and master necromancy within the catacombs. And that's kind of his overarching story there, what he wants to achieve.
There's something to do with the masks, though, right, as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the details of it. It's been a good few years since I've done the lore videos on Dark Souls 1. and I don't want to get it wrong. What do you remember of it? Can you tell us about
From
that?
what I remember, it was involving like his actual family members. Like that's what they call the mask of the father, mask of the mother, like a mask of the child or something. And those were those
That's
masks
right.
are. He's trying to revive his family, and by doing so, I think they all just what would you say, combined
Amalgamate,
amalgamated into this just giant morphed blob. And so he's basically just combined with his child and wife, partially alive necromancer that just went way wrong, from what I understand.
Yes, that's right, yeah. And that's why he wanted to master source necromancy and stole the power of the Gravelord Nito. That was good. I'd say I'd lost points on that one a little bit because I needed some...
9 out of 10 for you on that one.
Yeah, you can take a bit off that one for me.
These little masks remind me of the old actors, Shakespearean actors is what I remember, and they put on different masks to play different characters, and it's kind of what this guy does. Is you have to beat all three of them, because when you beat one of them, he just puts on another mask and comes at you again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, multiples of them. Yeah. Next up, Gravelord Nito. All right.
Gee whiz.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's really ugly. He's defending the underworld.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a hint. There is a big hint visually on screen right now.
What, the flame?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to protect that flame so that you don't put it out. That's part of the big flame that Gwyn lit, and this is all part of it. And he's trying to keep you from to keep it going, and you have to, or I think he's trying to put it out, and you have to defeat him so that he doesn't put it out, because I'm trying to make sure the flame gets lit. I'm trying to defend that flame from this creature or whatever it is. And is really cool. I'd call him really neato.
Of course.
But you knew that was coming.
I did.
And that's what I remember. He has all of these skulls are of the people that he's beaten, and he's absorbed their essence, essentially, represented by those skulls.
I like a lot of that. I don't know how accurate it was. I'm not an expert on Nito, but anything else you want to throw in?
No, I've thrown in more than what I thought I would.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought it was cool. We're freestyling. It was nice.
I invented stuff.
Nice. All right, what's our score on Nito?
I like that one. I love creativity, which is good. It's what we want. I think you kind of made an even better story than FromSoft or Miyazaki could have thought of there.
I would agree.
On that one, let's say a good 6 out of 10 purely on creativity.
Nice.
I like it.
6 out of 10 on creativity. That means you're getting special points.
I'm learning to be more creative.
Yeah.
I have more background on the lore.
That's true. Well, what's the actual lore of Nito?
So Gravelord Nito, remember how we were talking about the first flame came about and 4 beings got 4 Lord Souls out of the first flame, which gave them power. He was one of those. So there was Gwyn, we mentioned the Witch of Isolith, and you've got Gravelord Nito. And he basically became the god of death and decay. And he was involved in the war against the Everlasting Dragons, and he spread death and miasma and decay, destroyed them with it. So he was a big contributor to that war and to bring about the Age of Light. But interestingly, after the Age of Light came about, whilst others were interested in power and having kingdoms, he kind of just went into the catacombs and just stayed within his own lane down there, where he administered death. And I think there's a lot of theories on why he's called the First of the Dead. Some would say that he was the first being to die, but I'm not sure that that's accurate. I think it's more of a metaphorical thing of him being like the first person to accept death as part of life and not constantly try to reignite light and continue an age of fire. And he was just happy to stay in his own lane and do his own thing in the catacombs and just be. But yeah, he's a very interesting character. Have you got anything else you could add to that, Babe One?
Not necessarily. But yeah, the interesting thing is that I was pointing at is that this is one of the very few where they're actually finding the flame. So you have that first flame, which is kind of like, you think of it almost like a Big Bang, where it's just like the creation suddenly, and those 4 lords came and found their flames. This is one of the more clear shots of him not trying to extinguish, but actually finding this, flame of power. And I think it is interesting that he just kind of didn't let it just corrupt him in a sense. He was just kind of like, death is part of that, and so he just didn't really become a position of someone trying to extend power in the world. Not bad, not bad, not bad.
Not good though.
Hey, I think you're averaging where you need to be, just barely.
Oh, just barely.
We're getting close.
I'll take barely.
All right. This one, you know, this is in fact one of the only ones you know the name outright. I wonder why.
Oh, Quelaag.
Booby Lady.
Yeah.
As you so affectionately called her.
No, that's what you called her, and I sort of acquired that.
There we go. Chaos Witch.
She's this
Quelaag.
spider lady.
A spider.
And what?
I was just hiding.
Oh,
You can't look at that.
she's one of the four. Isn't she one of the four lead
Four lords?
four lords that you have to go through? She was one of the tougher ones I fought, so I think she's worthy to be one of the four. And so she's keeping you from going to Gwyn, and she has this little sword that she will beat you with. What the actual lore? I was so focused on how in the heck am I going to beat her that.
Yeah, we died a lot to her.
Yeah, we
for
died
sure.
a whole lot. And so anyway, that's pretty much what I remember of Quelaag.
Do you want a lifeline?
Sure.
Okay. I have a lifeline that I would recommend you use. The first line of her lore.
Oh, okay.
This might put you in a different headspace of what her lore might be.
Oh, okay.
So the first line is, Chaos Witch Quelaag. Quelaag is a daughter of the Witch of Ceaseless, and along with most of her family, failed to escape from the chaotic flame and was corrupted by it. Does that change what you would
She's the
think her
chaotic
lore?
flame, which is something that was counter to Gwyn.
Mm-hmm. She's daughter
So
of the Witch.
She's daughter of that, and there were other daughters that I met, but Quelaag was the wickedest of them all. She was the toughest of them all.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's trying to prevent you from going to Gwyn and lighting the flame, because that when you light the flame, the whole universe starts to lighten up again, and I mean it breathes life into it. And she's trying to keep you from doing that.
All right.
Is that better?
Let's see. What's our score, including what we got from his lifeline?
Lifeline.
I'd say the lifeline came in clutch a little bit there.
Yeah.
It really score up, because you got that she was the daughter of the Witch of Ceaseless, which is great. But beyond that, I don't think there was much more. So let's say, I might be generous, I don't know, but let's say a good 6 out of 10 on that one. Would you say I'm being fair or generous?
No, I think that's fair. I mean, coming up and we're using the lifeline, knowing that it was one of the Witch of Ceaseless kids, that works. I'll give it a 6 for sure.
Yeah, otherwise it would have been nothing. So I think it definitely helped. It definitely helped. Yeah, she's one of the daughters of the Witch of Ceaseless, and as you got from that line of lore, what happened to her was a result of the chaos flame which the Witch of Ceaseless created in attempt to recreate the first flame. And so you got her alongside with her sisters as well. So you've got Quelaag, Quelana, and the Fair Lady. And there's also a son. He'll remain unnamed for now, as he's also a boss. She became part spider, part human creature as a result of the chaos flame, and she is actually there to protect mainly her sister, the Fair Lady, who is in a very dire state to health, and she can't really protect herself. So that's kind of her purpose there. Don't know if you want to go into the Fair Lady or not a little bit, but
Well, she's you remember there was a second
there was
one.
a second one that I defeated, which was pretty easy.
Yep, you didn't have to kill her, but I think I advised
of
you
course
to.
I did.
Well, no, you didn't. You killed her and you got her soul.
Yeah, whatever it is I got from her that helped me beef up again and move on.
So what would be the lore of that first lady then in connection to Quelaag?
she kind of sacrificed her own health in protection or in saving her servants who were blighted with a disease. And so in order to save them, she sacrificed her own health. And so you'll see some of those servants. I think one of them's called, is it EG or something like that?
Right, the guy that's crawling on the floor.
Yeah, and he's very defensive of the Fair Lady.
Yes.
Which kind of gives you that knowledge that, you know, they hold her to a higher regard. She did a lot for them to protect them, and she sacrificed her health for them. And so because she's in such a bad state, her sister has to protect her and feed her humanity to keep her alive and keep her going. So that's kind of the overall story there from what I remember from memory.
There you go.
Thank you for being generous.
So generous.
Oh yeah.
What a guy. All right, this next one is a beloved boss, loved by all, the Bed of Chaos. Perfect boss, best design.
Oh, I remember this. This was looked like a tree with the roots. He was protecting the pathway. He's not one of the 4 major lords. That gets you to Gwyn, not one of those 4, but he was had this electric. You had to break the electricity so to turn him off. It's kind of what I remember.
Okay.
Anyway.
Do you want to use a lifeline real quick of Ask Babe 2?
Looking for one.
Is Babe 2 is a lifeline?
Yeah, sorry. Ahmed.
I get another lifeline?
Babe 2 just came in.
Babe 2 to lifeline. Go for it. Ahead.
I will do even worse than GigaDad for sure. He is a little person underneath the big tree, and he looks like a cockroach. That's it.
There you go, little person cockroach. That's Babe 2's cockroach.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Cockroach. I hadn't thought of that.
I'm looking for one connection. If you can guess who it is, it's someone that you should already know. If you can make that connection of who this is out of the characters we've discussed so far, that would be an automatic 10. So just try and think who it could be.
Who's connected to?
Who it literally is.
Who it literally
It's someone we've already spoken about numerous times.
You know, the one that reminds me of is the Erd Tree Avatar, but that's it. That's
It's in Elden Ring.
I'm sorry, I don't have. I'm pulling a blank.
Oh man.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's okay though. Would you like me to say yet, or
Of
do you want
course,
to
yeah. I've blown my wad on this one.
throw in the towel now? Okay, this is the Witch of Ceaseless.
Oh, this is the Witch of Ceaseless. Well, then why didn't
she's
they
the
call
one.
it the Witch of
The Widgewood
Witch
Weiseless.
of Ceaseless?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I guess that's what became of her. She's no longer even herself, and so in a way, even her name is different now, following the flame of chaos and everything that went wrong. The destruction of her kingdom, the birthing of demons, it all went downhill, and this is the result of it. A sad
Oh, wow.
state.
She really descended down, huh?
Yep.
Yes.
Becomes this, just like her children, like Quelaag, like the Fair Lady, her children
Right,
became these
right.
demented things. And then also from this bed of chaos, started the demons coming through into the world because she basically polluted this flame that she tried to recreate. It blew up in her face.
Okay.
And now she's a crappy tree boss.
That's the fake flame behind her.
I think so.
This image. Okay.
Yeah, I think the whole kingdom is engulfed in that fake flame. We didn't really give a rating on this one, but
No.
what would you, Babe, one? Because I think this one's a tough one.
It's
either-
I'm not sure. I don't think it's a high one for sure. I don't think we didn't correlate with Witch of Ceaseless. We didn't correlate with the flame, the first flame or replicant of the first flame. You're a good dude, and I do love you as my father. So I'll throw in a two bagger on that one. Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't give this one. It had to be you. I couldn't give this rating.
he can't. He's too read. He would have given you a 0. And yep, that's how the British do it.
And the Brits are you gave me 10 on one,
That's
so I
true.
guess a 0 on another is averages 5.
In conclusion, the Brits are just evil. That's what we've achieved.
That's
what we've
fair
achieved
enough.
there. That's
You know, I learned that the Brits are not evil.
It's only taken him about 200 years since the Revolutionary War to come around to that. He's like, you know what? Maybe I'll let it slide. All right, this one I feel confident in. The Taurus Demon.
Yeah, I remember
Good abs.
fighting him. Yeah, and he's got this goat head. He's a demon that was along with the other demons that I saw. That other one that has a similar looking head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall what the name was, but these are spawned by the Witch of Ceaseless, or created, or they're part of her influence, and he's protecting. Behind him is a doorway that protects, I think, one of the bells or something like that you get through, and you get one of the bells getting through this guy. So that's what I think.
I think that's pretty solid. What's the score?
We've made a good recovery there. I'm very happy with that one.
Yes.
I think you nailed it. This is another recreation, demon of the recreation of the flame from the Witch of Ceaseless, similar to the other demons within the game. So spot on there. I'd say this just has to be a straight 10 out of 10. There we go.
I think that's a straight 10.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not a lot to the Taurus Demon. I mean, He doesn't have a story so much that they just, planted like 6 of him in the late game. There's like a field of fire, and then there's like 6 Taurus demons just standing there. And at one point you started walking towards them, and I was like, don't even bother. Don't even bother. The developers didn't even bother. They're like, yeah, this area, just the Taurus demon, 6 of them. It's terrible. So this one I don't actually know much at all. Iron Golem, father of mine. Do you remember this big guy?
Iron Golem.
Yep.
I seem to remember battling him, and I kept falling off the cliff. And
You had some weird experiences fighting this guy.
I had to not only fight him, but fight the environment in which he was there.
Do you remember where he was?
Not particularly.
It was an area that you spent a lot of time getting through.
Not Anorlando.
Right before it.
I don't remember the names of those places.
It was a fortress.
The something fortress.
It makes no
sense.
Yeah.
Sen's Fortress. That's right. Sen's Fortress. And this is the fortress.
The top of the fortress. Yep.
Top of it. Yeah. And so I had to get through Sen's Fortress. Took quite a bit to get up here, and I had to get through it in order to because I'm on the top. I had to get past this to be able to get to the final. This seems like one of the 4 lords that get you to Gwyn, I think. And that axe, look, has chips in it, and those chips were put there by my head. I don't know.
I think you have one more Ask Chat if you'd like, but you have 3 more to ask
chat.
If you want to.
Yeah, okay. Chat.
We'll go easy on this one. This one, the Ask Chat, we will give you guys 20 seconds, and he can read all messages.
I can read all of them.
3, 2, 1, 0. Personally, I think you should go with one where it says he's from Minecraft. I think that's probably right.
Minecraft? No. Golem made of iron and guards the connection between Sens and Anorlando. So this is how I got from Sen's Fortress into Anorlando. Bro, you can't count down while I'm tripping.
He's just reading chat now.
Yeah, Guardian of Anorlando. Okay, so he's a protector of Anorlando from Sen's Fortress.
Mm-hmm. What would you update your lore to?
He's a guard to keep me in Sen's Fortress, trapped in Sen's Fortress, and not let me go to Anorlando, where some of the other. He's not one of the 4 lords that get you to Gwyn, because those are the guys that are in Anorlando or beyond.
Yeah, the one of the 4 that got the flames. So he's not one of those.
Yeah, he's not one of those. Okay, so that's what I know.
All right, what's our score?
That was really good. Chat, very helpful there. You kind of pretty much covered it fully. Maybe there's a little bit missing, so I'd say rather than a full 10, it'd be like a 9 out of 10. So that's a really good. Well done on that one. Basically, with the Iron Golem, it's not even a real being inside of it. It's just a hunk of armor. But it's brought to life and animated by its core been infused with the bone of an everlasting dragon. So that was a creation by the gods, probably Gwyn, infusing the Iron Golem with the bone of an everlasting dragon so that it can come to life and protect the entrance to Anorlando. And so similar to the Bell Gargoyles, where they were the first test of strength to see if you're worthy of progressing, this one is a similar thing. If you're worthy of beating it, you gain entrance to Anorlando. And so that's what the Iron Golem is, and that's the purpose it serves.
Nice. I had no idea that its core was like a dragon bone.
Oh.
Never knew.
All you have to do is go through all of this area, and once you find any bone, there are a bunch of bones around, just grab it and start dragging it, and that's a dragon bone.
That would be a dragging bone. Nice.
Well, it is.
Well done. Congrats. I did not see that one coming. You got me for that one. 3 more.
I can hardly wait. Ceaseless Discharge. This is like a beating heart, and this heart is beating in it, and as you can see, it's got this lava in the middle, which is like its blood. And as the beating heart beats, it sends this lava throughout the area where it lives, and that gives the whole thing life. And so you have to defeat this beating heart sort of thing, and in order to get past it. Now, I don't remember exactly where he is, but that made him difficult because he had all of this flame and stuff going around and burned your feet. You're walking around going, ow, ow, ow.
I think you're dancing around more information than you might know. So you said flame.
Yeah.
You don't remember where he was?
No.
That might help you if you can.
If I can remember where he was.
Or think to yourself the connection of what he looks like and the location you're describing to what you know about the lore so
had
far.
to be in, not Sen's Fortress. Where was the place where we went down into the flame? What was the name of that place?
Isolith? The Lost Isolith?
No, there was an area that we would go down into. I don't recall the name of it. Shoot.
The Abyss?
No, I don't recall. This one, I remember seeing it, but I don't remember a whole lot of the details.
No more lifelines. That's
No
our
more
best guess.
lifelines. I've exhausted.
Woo-wee. All right, it's getting clutch. All right, what's our score on that one?
That was very close to being a good score.
I
It
know.
made that little hint there with Isolith. But yes, it is linked to Isolith. You did get something right, which is the lava coming out of his body. So that's very much correct. I think you get some good points on that one alone. But you did miss some key information, so we'll go somewhere right down in the middle, I think is fair. A good 5.
A good 5 on that. But yeah, he's that whole lava area. When you're seeing lava and things like that, good idea to think of
What's the
Isolith.
name? What's the name? Oh, is that Isolith?
Isolith, because it's connected to the Witch of Isolith
Oh.
and her whole domain, which turned to flame, all that stuff. He missed that it was the 4th child of the Witch of Isolith. That's the son.
Oh, this is
which
the
I
sun?
Yes.
preempted it.
Boy, doesn't look like a nice person to me.
No.
Yeah, this is the 4th son. Is it 4th? There's Quelaag, and a fair lady, and yeah, the Ceaseless Discharge. And basically, as a result of the horrible thing that the Chaos Witch created with the flame, Ceaseless Discharge was born with an endless lava coming out of him and burning him, and it just lives in eternal pain. So that's where the name comes from, the endless discharge, the endless lava that emanates from his body. But his sisters tried to help him. They gave him a magical ring to ease his pain, but he did lose it in the lava, and so he does live in eternal pain, and that's part of where his anger and ferocity comes from, is just from the pain that he's in. So it's actually more sad than evil, but it is the consequence of that ambition that they were trying to achieve and that godhood that they were hoping to maintain for eternity. And it just shows that, you know, if you reach too far, this is the kind of thing that can happen to you.
Yeah, Dad, and that's a threat.
Yeah, it's a reminder. Don't don't overstretch your bounds there.
Yeah, not bad though. Not bad. I think a 5 is good.
I'm living.
I think we're learning a lot though. I'm learning a lot for sure.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah, it's cool. 4 Kings.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange looking boss.
Yeah.
Very weird looking.
4 Kings. He is part of the defense of Gwyn. I believe he is one of those 4 lords because he's a 4 king. So he's preventing you from getting to Gwyn, but he has some light. So he's trying to protect that light so that Gwyn's light doesn't go out. You see, he has like little horns there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things that he uses to defend himself and to look down upon you and try to kill you. I don't remember how he fought, but he was very, very difficult because all of those things around him would come and attack you. He could use them, so you had to defend yourself from a lot of different angles, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Any memory as to where you fought the 4 Kings?
No.
I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with a ring that we got that was associated with Sif.
So you had to get the ring to go into the abyss?
Okay, so yep.
Is that so? This was one of the defenders of the ring. So he wasn't one of the 4 lords for Gwyn. So this is how you got into you had to go past him to get into the abyss. Sounds good.
It's our best stitched together.
Yeah.
All right. Not bad, not bad. What's our score on that one?
I like that. It made some good connections there with the Abyss and connecting the 4 Kings to Gwyn. So I think on those 2 bases alone, I'd say a good 6 out of 10 on that one.
All right.
I'll take that.
Because there's quite a lot, but I wouldn't really expect someone to get off the cuff. You'd have to really dig into it to know the other stuff. So I think from just playing the game, I think you picked up on the key parts, which is the link with Gwyn and the Abyss, and I think that's really good. But yeah, the Four Kings were once rulers of New Londo, which is an area you go to in the game, but it's called New Londo Ruins, which kind of gives away that it became a ruin.
Londo Ruins. Yeah, I remember that.
The water area that you'd fall into the water and just instantly die.
Yeah.
And so back to Gwyn, and you'll probably start to notice that everything just goes back to Gwyn. He kind of, plays a big part in all of it. So when the flame was starting to fade and he was looking for ways to keep it alive to maintain his rule over the world, the Witch of Izalith attempted to do her thing. That didn't work with the fake flame, so he decided to sacrifice himself to the flame to reignite it, to make it stronger again. And so before doing that, he gave up his Lord Soul, or part of fragments of his Lord Soul, which he had got from the first flame, and he gave it to the Four Kings. And that had a bad effect, as it actually corrupted them. It corrupted them due to the Abyss. The Abyss corrupts people, and that happened to them. And so they kind of dwelled in the Abyss from that point onwards. But to stop the spreading of the Abyss, they flooded the whole of New Londo, which is why it becomes New Londo Ruins. So that's one method to keep the Abyss at bay. And so that's what came of them. And it's all, again, linked to Gwyn, and as a consequence of Gwyn.
Mm-hmm.
I never realized that they were responsible for the flooding of that whole
of the Londo Ruins. I remembered the Londo Ruins and all the water. And that's where it was like poisonous or something like that?
No, but you had to drain the water in order to get to them. Because they caused that flooding to just stop the Abyss from spreading.
Somehow I had to get rid of the water, yeah.
Okay. Final boss. Oh boy.
Gaping dragon?
All right, Gigafather. This thing is gross.
Yeah, I seem to remember all of those
teeth
would come out and get me. The gaping dragon. He's one of the dragons that are trying to keep you from ringing one of the bells. I think he was a defender of one of the bells. He was part of what is protecting the flame that Gwyn had, trying to keep you from going and to keep that flame from going out. I had to prove that I could beat him in order to get to Gwyn, because in the end of the whole thing is Gwyn needed to be defeated because a flame was extinguishing and he needed to be replaced. And I was I'll call it the chosen one, or I'm sure there's another term, but you had to prove your worthiness, and he was one of the beings that was trying to make sure that whoever defeated Gwyn was really worthy. And so that's what I remember. That's what I remember trying to do to get through to Gwyn.
Anything else you want to throw in there?
I threw in everything I could think of.
Dude, I don't know nothing about this boss.
Oh,
nothing. What's the score on that one?
I'm gonna have to be very honest. It wasn't great. But
hey, I thought it sounded pretty good.
It sounded like you knew what you're talking about.
You definitely did, and I think that's where you get the points through creativity, because you spoke about that with confidence, and you gave it a full story, which is probably even a better story than they had. So I think you get good points for that. So it would have been a 0 based on not lore knowledge, but purely on the story you told, I'd say a nice 7 out of 10 just to end it on.
Did you say 7?
Whoa.
Yes.
You are very generous.
Wow, he can't come on this show.
Where do I send my check?
For real. You've paid him off. A 7. All right. What's the real lore of the boss?
Okay, so the Gaping Dragon is not as interesting as you might think he is. He's a descendant of the Everlasting Dragons, which ruled over before the Age of Fire. But after their defeat, the Gaping Dragon descended to the depths of the Undead Berg, where you find him in the sewers. And he just lived on as a deformed dragon, because he was just so gluttonous. He just ate everything, and he dwelled in the sewers, and he just remained underground, living a horrible life. And his actions made him the deformed being that he is, just living in the sewers and eating away. But it's kind of sad to think that the Everlasting Dragons were such prominent figures, so powerful, so majestic, and then after the Age of Fire and their defeat, they were dwelling like rats in a sewer. So it's kind of, representation of that.
Oh, so he was he one of the the great dragons before, or was he one of like a lesser, or like how does that work?
It was never confirmed that he was there, but he's a descendant of them, so probably not there during the war, but he could have been one of them, and he could have been that kind of dragon if things had stayed the way they were.
The point is, he's degenerated quite a bit from what they were. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, let me tally it up then, Dad.
Yeah, frankly, I'm shocked I got 7 out of 10.
I don't wish
I might have been too kind on this one. I just wanted to make sure he doesn't get the, the punishment you had going for him. I was trying to be nice.
It's okay. I probably deserve it from punishing him unnecessarily when he was a kid.
Exactly. I was the perfect child.
Every once in a while, I would accuse him of something that maybe wasn't his. I probably owe him one.
Everything balances out in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, a 6.
A 6.
A 6 out of 10. That does mean you do win the game,
Oh
Dad.
boy.
I am Giga proud. Look at you.
Congratulations.
I'm Giga shocked.
Nice. Another by the hair of your chinny chin chin. You win again. What do you want as a reward? Last time we did a Babe 1 token, which you really never used because you're stubborn. It was where I could get you to a boss on for me. I would do a boss run back for you.
Oh.
And you like never used it. So what would you want as a reward?
Cadillac Escalade.
That's all right. I'll get started on that. We're going to crowdfund that Cadillac Escalade for GigaDad. But this was a lot of fun. Shout out the Brothers Code. Ahmed, you're the man. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody.
Get 1 hour of sleep as a reward.
Yeah, 1 hour of sleep. But shout out to Brothers Code, everybody. They have an incredible lore channel. It's usually him and his friend, but we had just Ahmed here today. But really, anything else you want to say for us, man?
I just want to say, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on. This was such a great experience for me. I've not really done a collaboration before, so this is the first, and hopefully there'll be a lot more to come. I'd love to hop on at any time and just talk about Souls lore and anything you want. And GigaDad, you're a legend. You completed Dark Souls, and if you get through Elden Ring, then that's another level. So I really look forward to seeing that.
Well,
but thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Hopefully, I will satisfy your desire to see it here in the next couple of months.
Yep, I think he's doing it.
We're working at it.
And yeah, my lore wasn't great there because it's just off the cuff talking from my mind. But if people want to see like it told properly, they can check it out on the channel. It's in depth. Hour, 2 hour, some 3-4 hour long videos going through it all. So if that's more your thing, well, I tried to do my best with the knowledge that I had.
Yeah, you did great, man. Brothers Code, everybody. And then obviously I'll tag you in the first line of the description and the comment on the video that we'll make out of this. So I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Huge thanks to the Brothers Code for helping us with this video. Check out their channel for legit top-notch lore videos. Their information is in the description. Be sure to follow our channel on Twitch so that you can be there when we go live, and also subscribe here on YouTube so that you do not miss a video. Just check out the channel. I promise you will not be bored. We also have a Discord, all that fun stuff. But as always, thanks for watching.